flight controllers.
Give me a go, no go for launch.
Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We're go fly.
Tell mute.
Go.
Control.
Go fly.
Procedures.
Go.
Network.
We are go. We are go.
We are go for launch.
Prepare to launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio Missile Podcast.
And we're back, and we have some fresh news. If you're a fan of boxing, there was a fight, Andy the Destroyer and Joshua.
Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. And yesterday it started off with at the weigh-ins. Anthony Joshua showed up weighing 10 pounds lighter than the original fight.
Okay.
And your boy, the Destroyer, showed up weighing 283 pounds.
God damn, he's putting the heavy weight in heavy.
Yes, the Destroyer got destroyed by tacos, folks,
Well, I mean, I guess if it worked once, he thought it might work twice. He became fat and not prepared, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get knocked out or anything, and just his weight was a factor, but they agreed to a third fight.
Okay.
And I think it was a money thing because he seemed nonchalant. He didn't seem to really care about it. And even leading up to the weigh-in, he had a sombrero on, he was eating, he's like, whatever. And his family was partying. So I think the payday's worth it. So this next fight, though, I think we might see a slimmer version. We're hoping. I mean, after the Sylvester Stallone movie, I don't know if you saw that. I saw the promo where he's talking about Andy Ruiz Jr. was the next Rocky.
Oh, wow, Rocky. Well, he's a real Rocky because he came out of nowhere and won. Rocky didn't win the first fight. It was a draw.
Oh, boxing history. That's right, folks. We know there's a lot of boxing buffs out there and historians. So,
Or the second one.
The second one.
Yeah, I know because you're from Jersey there.
Yeah, he fought Apollo Creed, and it was the Apollo Creed one, right?
Yep. And even they showed, they thought.
But Andy the Destroyer actually won. So he has one up on Rocky. And he's actually a real boxer.
Yes, sir. So we'll give you the date of the third fight, when they work it out. But they both guaranteed it because they know the payday's really good. And, people know that Anthony Joshua really doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder just yet. Or Tyson Fury. That's some beating right there. So
Andy, I'm a fan, so you better get your ass jogging and yoga or whatever the fuck you get in shape to win this fucking third fucking fight. Okay? Right. Where's your heart, boy? Where's your heart?
Namaste. There you go.
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
Okay. Are you a fan of Ozzy Osborne? Going off the rails on a crazy train. Well, he has a lot of fans. On top of being a reality TV star, a singer, and married to a dominant woman. Ozzy Osbourne can also be robbed like anybody else.
Yes, sir, my boy. They took Randy Rhoads' original guitar.
Oh, wow.
And some other equipment.
Heartbreak.
And he put up a reward for it.
What's the reward?
$25,000.
Okay, first off, how much is Randy Rhoads' guitar worth?
I think it's priceless, but I mean, it's at least $100,000.
Okay, so you have just one guitar because they took all of this equipment, right? But just one guitar is worth over $100,000 priceless, and this cheap bastard's offering $25,000. How much is he worth?
$220 million.
So you're worth $220 million, and your idea of being generous is $25,000. That's what people hate the rich.
No, his wife, how much is she worth, Shannon?
$20 million on her own. I mean, she doesn't.
No, $220 million. You're missing a two in front of it.
Okay.
Why?
Right.
No, she comes from money, you said?
I think her dad owns a record company that Ozzy Osbourne sang for.
Oh, I never even did that research.
So I think she comes from cash. So Ozzy Osbourne married her, so he's good, and she took care of him, and now.
Oh, he was good to begin with, but
But now they for $220 million. Back to the story. $220 million, and you're offering $25,000 reward.
Yeah. So I thought she rode his coattails, but he rode hers, and then she just made them even longer.
There's a saying in Spanish that say the collar fits the dog, so I guess they both helped each other.
Well, folks, we'll keep you updated about the situation, and let us know what you think if you spot the missing guitar.
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
All right, guys. Have you ever seen a pair of tits so wonderful and so beautiful that you just had to touch? Oh, well, a police officer out here had the same idea and he actually went with it. Here's the thing. He turned off his camera.
He thought he was turning his camera
Yes,
off.
but here's the thing he didn't know. The cameras run for 2 minutes after you turn them off.
That's right. It's a 2-minute buffer.
Yes.
That's
So
crazy.
That's
crazy.
So he turned off the camera and started grabbing the knockers
Yes, sir.
Easy.
of a dead woman. Okay. Now, if that's your family member, your sister, or I would be pretty upset, right?
Yeah.
Disrespecting
Fuck
the
yeah.
dead. That's what the police union had to say to try to clean up the situation.
Well,
But
the police union said we're not going to represent this guy. Screw
No,
this
no,
guy.
no, no.
He said it's a pervert. We don't
Hey.
represent perverts.
And you know what? Usually
Yeah.
the police will back any
Yeah.
of their homies, no matter
no
how
matter what.
bad.
Yeah, well, you got to really screw up for the Blue Shield to turn their back on you because they
That's
cover for each other.
crazy.
But yeah, this pervert was grabbing this girl's tits. He turned off the camera, and then later, someone was reviewing the footage. And
No,
he saw
no,
it.
and
They
they
saw.
in the footage, it was just accidental. They just do a random
Inspection?
screening of
Wow.
inspection of the footage. And you know what? They placed him on leave. That's all.
paid leave.
I don't know.
Probably.
We got
Probably.
probably a paid leave.
Probably
So he's
paid
getting
leave.
paid. He's getting a vacation.
So not only
Good
he gets to
job.
grope a dead person, he's still getting paid for it, huh?
Yeah, you know, and it sucks. The police union put out a statement condemning it, calling it extremely disturbing.
Well, yeah,
yet he's on paid leave.
He makes the police,
Damn.
like, I mean, they already look bad. He's making
Right,
them look
right.
even worse.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that because
Just the other day, a cop pulled me over, and I was like, hey, can you cut me some slack? And he was like, hell no. He gave me a ticket, so I felt like all cops are jerks. I know not all of you guys are jerks, but he could have gave me a break for the holidays. But that's different than fondling tits, though.
no. Well, speaking of fondling tits, a man in Newton called the Layton Police Department 911 after she got in a minor crash.
Okay.
When they came out, the officer suspected that she was drunk.
Oh,
So they arrested her on charges of a DUI, and he started groping her.
no.
Wait, no. And guess what? It was on the camera,
Stupid.
on his body cam.
Oh, he didn't turn
Dum-dum.
off.
Oh, no, he didn't turn it off on
He was
this one.
proud of the group.
He was proud of the groping. Wait, and she's even shouting out, don't touch me, don't touch me.
Damn.
You know?
Well, sometimes no means yes, right?
And you would,
Yes, huh?
No, I'm just playing around. When no means no.
yeah, no means no. And this is what the officer said to her. I can search you, and that's what I'm doing.
So he
Played that card.
So he was searching her vagina for something? Or what?
We don't know until here's
He had
what happened.
drugs.
So here's what happened. It turns out she wasn't drunk. There was no DUI.
She was pretending?
No, she
No,
wasn't
he just-
drunk. They
What
just
happened?
assumed she was drunk.
Oh, they just assumed that. Okay.
And then so her
That's-
lawyer is
That's
asking
messed
why.
up.
Yeah, her lawyer is asking, well, why did they fondle her? And they said, well, we only have 3 female police officers on the force, so the males have to do the searches on females in that particular county there. But guess
Wow.
what? It even gets worse because as of now, the local judge still hasn't dropped the DUI charges against her.
What
Well,
the
that
fuck?
sucks.
She's still guilty of a DUI, even though
She's
she
gonna
wasn't
get-
drunk and got groped.
Well, she's going to get money from that police department for sure, right?
Well, we're going to keep you updated. You know, tell us
Yeah.
what you think about that below, guys.
Yeah, comment, please.
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
Okay. Have you guys ever gotten a haircut that you didn't like?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, have you ever been so upset you did something about it?
Just don't go back.
Well, somebody did. Tell us about it, Cordell.
Well, it turns out in Antioch, California, Miss Ruby Delgadillo.
Delgadillo, huh?
Is that how I'm saying her name correctly?
Yep, you said it correct.
Well, she took her 7-year-old son to the barber,
Okay.
you know, and around 3:45 in the afternoon, the barber, Mr. Brian Martin, who's 63 years old, was standing in front of the Delta barbershop. And she pulls up, she gets out, and she tells him, hey, you nicked my son's hair. And she was complaining about the haircut. So he told her, there's nothing I could do. He was squirming. It was just a small little
Yeah,
nick.
kids move around.
Yeah.
They
Sure.
couldn't-
Yeah.
So this is what she did. She went back and got in her 2006 Prius, revved it up, and drove straight into the man, crashing through his leg into the window of the barbershop.
Wow, at least she's green.
Yeah.
That was a green homicide.
Right.
So how's the
Hybrid.
barber?
No, she shattered his leg and she took off. She's still on the lam.
But there's cameras, right? They caught her.
No. And she had her two kids in the car.
Wow.
So what a great example, Mom.
Yes, Mom.
What
Hit
a
and
rotten
runs.
example.
You know, and we bring this up, folks, because we're doing a lot of series about hit and runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so we actually got another one coming up later about the Teslas. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you updated if they catch her.
Yep. We'll let you guys know. Hopefully they do.
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
Well, we've been talking about hit and runs and the epidemic out here in Los Angeles about hit and runs. And we have an update maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Guy was hit by a Tesla, right?
Yeah, it turns out he was crossing the street around 11 p.m. at night. His name was Emilio Perez,
Okay.
34 years old, father of four.
Father of four.
Was crossing Olympic Boulevard at 11 p.m. and got struck by a white Tesla sedan that takes off.
Another hit and run.
Another hit and run.
Okay,
No.
we go back to what I always say. This lady must have been drunk, because if you're not drunk and it's an accident, you're going to pull over and stop and try to help. But if you're drunk, you just got into vehicular manslaughter or some kind of other realm.
Well,
that you're going to take off.
Well, you're right, you know, because it gets worse, my boy. He died on Thanksgiving Day from a severe brain injury.
Wow.
And so check this out. Investigators found the Tesla nearby because after she hit him, she drove down the street and parked the car, covered it.
It was a rental, right?
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was a rental. I think it was a rental. Somebody picked her up. And she drove
there was
off, right?
there's video footage from across the street, caught her covering the car and getting in another car. But here's what happened. She just walked back into the LAPD and she said, you know what? My conscience is too much. I mean, she couldn't sleep. It was eating her up.
They were coming.
Like you said.
Yeah.
Like you said. She said, what kind of person? She went in there and said, nah, I can't live with this. And it turns out it wasn't her fault either. Because there's another person of interest. That's what they're saying. They're saying they're not going to prosecute her for the hit and run, but they're going to prosecute her for fleeing the scene of a crime.
Wow. Well, that's crazy.
Hit and runs, folks. We're telling you, just take your time out there in the holiday season.
Have a heart. If you run somebody over, if you're not drunk, stop. Help. Even if you're drunk, just
Stop.
help.
Yeah,
Help.
stop.
I mean, damn, they'll be easy on you if you help.
So tell us what you think in the comments below.
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
Well, everybody uses drugs here and there, right?
No.
Imagine if you go out and have a good time, you get a little bit of coke, a little bit of heroin, or whatever you prefer, and then all of a sudden, it becomes a flesh-eating bacteria.
Oh.
What happened, Cordell? Let us know.
Well, it turns out that 7 people in San Diego have died over the past couple months from a flesh-eating bacteria. You know, people are worried about fentanyl, but then, now there's something new to worry about.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, it started when 9 people were hospitalized after injecting black tar heroin.
That's from Mexico.
Yeah. And it's down there by the border. But guess what? They developed something that's called severe myonecrosis, which is a soft tissue disease that breaks down the muscles.
Yeah.
So because
your
they
flesh,
they shoot it up, they put it directly into the skin, right?
Yeah. It gets stronger and stronger every year, the opioid crisis. So, you know, what can we say? And to top it off, 13 people have developed what's called wound botulism from using that icky, sticky black tar.
So why has this not happened before? I mean, black tar heroin is not new.
Oh, it's been around thousands of years from ancient China. You know, morphine and opium. Cells, just, you know, if
they have too much demand so large, they're cutting corners.
Yeah, and also, you know, people add newer ingredients to this stuff. Synthetic ingredients. Yes. You know, so if you're out there and you're addicted to stuff, seek help. Don't, you know, at worst,
it's not a good time to be a junkie.
Your skin's gonna fall. You know, so you know, we'll keep you updated, you know, on this epidemic, folks.
Stay tuned. The Audio Missile Podcast will be right back.
And we're back. Well, New York has Central Park. Los Angeles has Griffith Park. And out here in Griffith Park, it's a lot of history behind it. I used to go out there when I was a kid, get stoned by my friends, be out there like at 2 a.m, 3 a.m. But I find out now that it's haunted, that it's cursed. There's all kinds of history behind Griffith Park. And they just found a dismembered body this week.
Oh, this ain't the first body they found there.
No, they found other bodies?
Oh, definitely,
Heads,
my boy.
lots of heads.
Heads, lots of heads.
Just heads with no rest of the body?
Yeah, they found a couple of heads.
Yes. Well, you know, the famous Griffith Park curse. It started in 1863 when Don Antonio Feliz on his deathbed, you know, he's dying from smallpox back then. He called for a local politician to help him draw up the will. So the dude came out.
And he swindled him.
Oh, my boy. And guess how he did
I
it?
could already see where it's going.
He tied a stick to his head and he made him nod. Do you agree? And when he agreed, what he signed over was 4,200 acres. Yes. And so what happened, you know, upon being cut out of the will, his niece, who should have been the heir of it,
Of course.
she uttered this famous curse.
The substance of the Feliz family shall be your curse. The wrath of heaven and the vengeance of hell shall fall upon this place.
Wow, deep.
Damn.
Damn, I'm already scared.
Channeling the niece's vengeance. I'm telling you, you know, her name was Petronilla. Petronilla. And, you know, over the next 30 years, many of the owners would suffer a horrible fate. You know, the first guy got shot, you know, the lawyer dude that got the will, signed it over. That dude got shot. The next owner, a dairy farmer, all of his cattle got sick and grasshoppers destroyed his crops.
Wow. So the curse is real.
So, you know, you've heard us talk about what the Superman curse.
Yeah, we talk about Superman and about the cursed script. Now we have a cursed park out here. And the Griffith Park is huge.
No, I'm telling you. And you know, and where to get the name Griffith Park? The last owner, his name was Griffith J. Griffith.
Oh, double Griffith.
Double Griffith, yeah, G squared.
Jenkins Griffith.
Oh, Jenkins, that was the name? Now, check this out. He was afraid of the place. He would only visit the property in the daytime because he thought it was haunted too.
Well, I guess a lot of people agree with him.
Well, you know, so check this out. In 1896, he donated the land to the city of Los Angeles as a Christmas present.
Well, Merry Christmas to us. I've been going there my whole life, so thank you, Mr. Griffith.
Well, you know, one of the main reasons that they say it is because there was a lightning storm that sent a wave of water through the canyons that destroyed most of his park at the time, or his ranch. You know, and even the ranch workers claim that the spirit or ghost of Don Feliz was riding through the waves down the hillside, cheering and screaming. And it was at that point, you know, he donated to the city. Merry
Fuck
Christmas.
that, I'm out.
Merry Christmas to us.
Well, you know, more things have happened, folks. And you know, obviously the story didn't end there. I mean, I'll just roll down some of the lists of some of the misfortunes. I mean,
What about the 29 volunteers?
yeah, they were conservation corps workers. They died in a fire there.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and guess what?
That sucks.
I know there's one you do know about. You talked about it.
There was a young couple that was making love at the park bench underneath a big tree. And
1976.
I guess the tree felt disrespected because they were hungry. he wasn't included in the threesome.
Right.
So
No,
the tree fell out of him and killed him.
No,
watched them.
you've heard of menage a trois. That's menage a tree.
Menage a tray. Menage a tray.
But no, I'm telling you. Well, I've heard they tried to cut down that table. And are the tree.
Well, there's rumors. I don't know if it's true or not, but the chainsaws malfunction. The crews get this eerie feeling, and they just don't want to be there and don't want to screw. The tree's still there now as we speak, right?
Yeah, well, you know, it's still there, and you know,
It's become a tourist attraction.
Sure, and that brings us up to
I
something.
want to go hump somebody on the tree.
Well, here
Because they can't follow me if I'm fucking somebody on top of it, right? So I'm safe.
right.
I found the loophole in the curse.
Well, check this out. In 2012, two women were hiking, and below the Hollywood sign, they found a skull wrapped in a plastic bag.
Whoa. Was it a female skull or a male skull?
Well, it turns out it was a male skull.
Oh, shit.
And after doing more research, they found more body parts hidden around the general area.
So that's
there.
like a ritualistic murder or something?
That's what they thought. But guess what? It turns out his name was Hervé Medellin, a former Mexicana Airlines worker. And they thought, well, was he killed in a ritual sacrifice? No, he was killed by his gay lover. Now, check this out. Gabriel Campos Martinez, his living boyfriend, was the killer.
He said, "You're nobody else's but mine."
They had a falling out over the.
He must have been a great lover.
Oh, and he had this internet search: butcher a human carcass for human consumption.
Yeah, the prosecutor went back and looked on the Google records, and that's what he typed in. How does one butcher a body for human consumption?
So he wanted to eat his lover?
Oh
my God. I guess some parts are better taste cooked.
Well, folks, tell us what you think in the comments below. And let us know, do you go to Griffith Park?
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.